Is everybody looking around the outside to tell you that, oh, this is crazy, it's never going to go anywhere? Who's going to actually want to come to a barbershop for somebody who's never cut hair? Like that was like, how are you supposed to run a business that you don't know anything about? Well, you learn. If you believe in yourself enough and you are passionate enough about it, you will learn what you need to learn. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading. This is the Awakened Jen. All right, so today we're going to be using the Lightworkers Oracle. We're going to pull one card from that to see where we're headed on the spiritual path. And then we're going to use the Gilded Tarot by Barbara Moore. We'll pull 3 cards from this to get a progression reading to see where you've been, where you're at, where you're headed, so that if we need to make a course correction, we can do that at this time. And I do want to say that when I say that I'm doing a 3-card reading, it's actually way more than 3 cards. That's just the base of where I start. So like I start there, and then I'll start pulling more cards to pull the picture out bigger and see, what the real story is. And then we'll start getting clarification for it. So, I mean, there's always a ton of cards out. All right, so I'm going to set some intentions as I'm shuffling. All right, so the first intention is that anyone who comes across this message, there is something in here for you. I set the intention that anyone who needs to hear the messages that come out in this reading will find it at the time they need it most. I set the intention that all the messages that come out will be for our highest good. Okay. I set the intention that I will be given very clear messages, be given all the right words, phrases, anything needed in order to communicate as clearly as possible, so that the message can be received as it was intended. All right, so if you are new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. If you find value in this video, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to this channel. You can hit the bell for notifications, and it will let you know every time I post a new video. I post, right now, it's about 3 to 4 videos a week because I'm taking some classes. It's taking up a little more of my time in the evenings. But I do try to post, like I said, 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 5. I also have a new series that I've started that is a Q&A series to talk about what my beliefs are about tarot. It just answers a lot of the common questions about tarot. And like I said, I will answer how I feel about it and how I use it in my practice. And so if that's something that you're interested to, I will be... I'll probably add the playlist to that at the end of this video, but I have started that. Again, if you hit the bell for notifications, it's going to let you know every time I post a new video anyway. So, all right, let's get started with the channeled message. So, Scorpio, we have, what does Scorpio need to know at this time? Expansion, adaptability, and alignment. And then the word North Node definitely came out and caught my attention, and it came out in this as well. So Scorpio, your North Node mission has been activated and is leading to a time of great expansion. Your North Node is in your zodiac birth chart, and it gives clues to the purpose that you have in this lifetime. Because it is an energy completely new and foreign to you, it offers the most room for growth and is the key to balancing. And the key to balancing it is with the gifts that you already have in your South Node. It will take adapting, learning, and realigning your whole life to move forward on this path. It is difficult, but it has the potential to bring you great rewards. All right, so the North Node can be found in your birth chart. And so if that's something that you don't know anything about, I will put a link down in the description box so that you can look up your birth chart. What you need for this is you have to have your birthday, you have to have your birth time. Your birth time is super important, so you need to make sure that you get that correct. because some of these things will change. Like, I think it's the rising sign changes like every 2 hours. So it really does matter, the birth time. So you get your birth date, your birth time, and the location that you were born in. And so once you have those three, then we can look up these charts and we will get all of your placements from the day that you were born. And there's so much information in those charts. I'm actually planning to do one of the Q&As will be a little bit about your birth chart, but I am planning to do like a small little course, and it will be a free course, actually, just to go over some of the very, very basics of your birth chart, because I use a lot of that in what I talk about here, because I use a lot of it in my own life to help me make decisions, help guide me, understand the energies that I'm working with. And like I said, there's just so much information in it that I think everybody should be looking at it. So your north node, it looks like, I'm sorry, my nose is trying to run. It looks like a little bit of headphones on the wheel. Like, it's not listed here. It looks similar to, I guess you can't see that, to this, except for both of these have little circles on them. And your south node is going to be exactly the opposite of your north node. So the south node is not actually listed on most birth charts, but you know what it is because it's the exact opposite. So like for me, Leo is my north node, and exactly opposite of that is Aquarius. And so that's my south node. And then there's also the houses that it's into, but we're not going to get into all of that because we just want to know what the north node, just the basic of what your north node is. So I am naturally a Pisces, and Pisces and Leo are very different energies. In fact, like that is just not something. Leo is very center of attention, life of the party kind of person. That's not who I am, and that's why I have the most room for growth in that area. And so I've actually watched it kind of come out just in the past couple of years. I've seen, and they say that it's not really a midlife crisis, it's a north node crisis. So you're going through your life. Your south node is the place that you're comfortable in. And so the Aquarian energy of my south node is where I'm comfortable. And Aquarius is very humanitarian and does not like to be the center of attention. They do not want it to be about them. That's where I am the most comfortable, behind the scenes. I am a good support person. But instead of like the midlife crisis that I seem to be having was actually my north node yelling at me. And I think that that's common for most people. You get to a point in your life where you've done the south node for so long, and now your north node is like, it's time, for us to activate our mission. And so my north node mission is to be seen and to be heard. So I've made a lot of changes in the last few years. For the majority of my adult life, I was a stay-at-home mom. That's not very seen or heard. And then I became a business owner. I owned a barbershop, and I got to be the boss. And it was named after me, Jenn's Den. And so there was a lot of, like, when that happened, I learned about my north node not long after that happened, and it all just made so much sense, because while it felt good to be doing all of this stuff, like I felt very driven and focused to be doing all of this stuff, it also, when my name went up and when it became just, I kind of had my own little, I would say almost like a breakdown by that, because it just, I don't like being the center of attention. I don't like, for all the eyes to be on me. But yet here I am also putting myself out on YouTube, where there's a lot of eyes on me. I mean, not necessarily yet, but that's my hope, is that, I will get big enough that there are a lot of eyes on me. I don't actually like that part, but I know that that's the way I make the impact. And that's like how my north node is trying to be seen. And so you combine it with more than just the sign. The sign shows the energy that you're supposed to show up in, but you have the house shows you where your energy shows up. So my house is the 6th house, and really that's about your day job. So I needed to be very visible and seen in my day job. And, I did that as, the barbershop. But even with the barbershop, I was much more still behind the scenes because I didn't cut hair. I know that's weird, but that's just the way it's set up. I was the owner of the shop. I didn't actually cut the hair. And so most of the guests that came in, they didn't actually know me. They knew the name of the shop, and they might recognize me as, from my social media and stuff, but they didn't really know me. They never got a chance to actually interact with me because I didn't cut their hair. It was more about the artists that were working for me. So now that I've moved into doing this, this makes me very visible, and the people are interacting directly with me. It's a much different way of expressing that same energy. And this is actually more aligned, which was one of the, things that we were talking about, with other parts of my birth chart and who I am and what I'm actually passionate about. Because another part, especially when we're talking about our day job, that we should look at in the birth chart is your midheaven. And so my midheaven is Sagittarius, and that is really about expansion and really just learning about all there is to know about the universe. And so, I am all in it. So if you are interested in learning more about your birth chart, definitely let me know in the comments. We will set up some times to get together and maybe start, discussing more of this stuff if that's something that you're, interested in. We set up some group things where I have special videos that's just for that. So just let me know. But right now, you are being activated. Your North Node is being activated. So I really suggest that you get into your own birth chart and you see what that is. And let's find out what that information means for you. There's tons of classes. I can link you to a lot of them that I've taken already that, have been just phenomenal. So if you're interested, let me know. All right, let's go ahead and start pulling some cards. Deep breath. All right. So what does Scorpio need right now for their spiritual path? Scorpio, spiritual path. All right, we've got grounding. All right. Because a lot of that is we're wanting to take what we're learning from our 5D and bringing it down, grounding it into our 3D reality. All right, deep breath. All right, past, present, future Scorpio. Past, present, future Scorpio. Past. We've got the King of Wands. Wow, this is feeling just like the Libra reading. Present. Four of Wands. Okay, so this is an entrepreneurial spirit. This is a lot of confidence, passion. This is celebration and long-term commitment. So future. We've got the Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands is about standing up for what you believe, is having good boundaries and protection against you. All right. So one thing that I see right away is that every card that came out was Wands. And Wands is fire energy. I do not see any signs that came out, but the fire energy is very loud. And the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So you could be dealing with a fire sign that could be significant to you. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Okay. And then we'll read this card. Grounding. Page 56. You long for the free and open worlds of spirit and light, yet you also yearn to experience the healing power and divine joy of sacred sound and living color. You are meant to bring joy, beauty, and comfort to this world, to share the spiritual light. To do so, you need grounding. Your dreams want you just as much as you want them. Grounding helps you bring your dreams to life in your world for the benefit of many. When a reminder comes from the higher guidance to ground oneself, it is a loving encouragement, never a judgment. Grounding is a spiritual version of remembering to call your mother. It is a chance to check in with what is happening in your physical life and make sure that you are giving appropriate time and energy to what really matters to your heart. It is a chance to appreciate the beauty of the natural world and the love in your relationships. It is a chance to make sure your spiritual work is being applied in your life in ways that feel good for you. It is a chance to speak your prayers rather than only think them. You might even dance them or create a colorful flower offering for your altar or sing them from your heart. We are guided to ground ourselves when there has been an increase of light to the head. And let me tell you, if you are being activated, you've been increase of light. This can occur through meditation, prayer, or conscious connection with spirit. You might be on fire with ideas and inspiration with all the wands that came out. That is definitely the case. But struggling to express them all practically. You may even feel congested or tense in parts of your body where the energy needs some help to flow. This is a sign to move in a way that feels freeing, strengthening, and expressive, and to add healthy relaxation and exercise into your lifestyle to allow for healing to occur. Then the light can move through your entire body, bringing vitality and helping you translate your ideas into your reality. To do so, take care of your body. Be sure to get plenty of hydration and rest. Spend time in nature. Use salt baths to cleanse your energy. Eat foods that strengthen and nourish you. Ground yourself by releasing emotional content if you are either swinging from one extreme to another or retreating to your head to analyze rather than express. You can ground emotional energy by writing in a journal or by creating art, poetry, music, or dance to express your feelings. You can also ground emotional energy through physical exercise or being in nature. Practice soothing and calming yourself so that you can return to a contented, trusting, and peaceful state of being. This is done by talking to yourself in a gentle, loving, and encouraging voice, reassuring yourself that everything is going to work out to a higher plan, that you are very loved and that you are very loved. Guided meditations and relaxations that help you feel connected, peaceful, and loved will also be helpful. Choose what works for you. You know when you are grounded because you will feel very connected to your body, aware of your emotions, and clear, energizing presence with a sense of well being. If you are not feeling that way, this oracle says that you can. Your energy is and well being can improve, and you can feel good about who you are and how you choose to live your life. Grounding will help you and help the universe help you too. I call upon the loving genius of the divine in my own spirit. Please help me now through unconditional love and divine mercy to ground all levels of my being so that I can manifest my highest and most lovingly joyful destiny now. I enjoy being present in the here and now with my body and my breath, receiving spiritual light and shining it through my heart into the world. I love my body and my senses, my soul and my heart. They are all avenues for my spirit to experience and express this world for the greatest good. May all living beings feel helpful grounding through unconditional love for the highest good through my own free will, so be it. Okay. So, one thing that I want to say that came out when I was reading that was a thought that I have had for a while is that the best way for most of us to ground is going to be connected to the element of that we are. So if you are Scorpio, you are a water sign, and I'm a Pisces, and so I'm a water sign too. And so, for me, the best way for me to really, just kind of is to be in water. So every single night I will take a bath. Every single night it's not about getting clean. This is about releasing the stress and regulating my body and just getting everything kind of back in order. And one thing about water that I love so much is that, like, you immerse yourself completely in it. And just think about just the way the water kind of feels all over your body, the way that it hugs you, and if it's warm, just it's a full body sensation. And so, like, if you were a fire sign, I would say I would do something that had a fire element to it. So, like, even just like fire gazing would be something that I would probably suggest. Or, the earth signs would be, definitely get out, in nature, in the woods, trees and plants and all of that, do gardening. Or the air sign, what's something with the air sign is, I would just be somewhere where you could feel the breeze. Like, I think that that would be very, and it's breath. I would work with the breath work. Those are all the ways. But as a Scorpio, you are a water sign. And so I would really try to incorporate water into your grounding experience. And that includes drinking water. And I'm really bad about that myself. But, those are all ways that you can kind of, recenter yourself. All right, so we're moving forward with the rest of the reading. We've got the King of Wands. So that is okay. You are focused, determined, and driven. Something has your full attention, and you are channeling all your energy and skills in that direction. You have a strong sense that you are right in all things concerning your venture. Your ambition or social needs are engaged. For now, that is all that matters. Be aware of believing that you are right, that your way is the only way. There is a danger of becoming overly bossy or intolerant of others. So when this energy is at its best, it's very, like, it makes stuff happen. But at its worst, it can also, become like controlling, very controlling. But since we've moved to the Four of Wands, I feel like that we've been making some stuff happen. You've been moving with your passion to make things happen. So the Four of Wands, you have achieved a satisfying goal. Take time to celebrate this and be proud of what you have done. Be aware of dissatisfaction. This is not the time to be critical of your accomplishment. A contented, affectionate family stands amongst four wands topped with a wreath of flowers. They have focused their will and achieved a stable, satisfying result. The pillars and lush flora indicate stability and abundance. The dragonflies show a joyful, magical sense of happiness. The wreath represents sense of unity and beauty. Like the emperor, they worked together for the good of all and created an environment where they can all find fulfillment. So that tells me that you did work with others and you weren't just overly controlling to create what we're trying to do. And then moving to the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands, you're being asked to defend your actions or beliefs. Do not fear the attack. Use the questions raised to clarify your understanding. If your beliefs are sound, a closer examination of them will not hurt anything and will add to your wisdom. Be aware of childish obstinacy. If you find your stances wrong, admit defeat and refine your beliefs so that they will stand up to examination. On the other hand, do not give up the fight out of fear. So this leads me to believe, especially combining it with the channeled message, that you're taking a completely different path. And so if you are following your North Node, like I said, this is a completely new energy for you. So I will just tell you, in my own life, once I started following my North Node, people didn't really know what to do with that. like I was constantly getting, why a barbershop? Why tarot? Why, why red? Like I made so many changes, and all I kept getting from the people around, why? So, I mean, just be prepared that once you start making the changes that are bringing you your happiness and your satisfaction, your completion, and just all of that, your abundance and joy, that not everybody else is going to understand. They're not going to see the vision that you have. And, like they might have a completely different vision for your life, and it's not theirs to live, it's yours to live. So let's get some information. Let's pull this out a little bit more. So give me some more information about the Seven of Wands. Okay. Okay, so it is about your past. We've got the Six of Cups. That's about the past, the nostalgia. And then you had the new opportunity come in. And you've been putting in the work for this. But maybe because you haven't gotten to the completed part, because this card is more about you've started the process, but it's definitely not come in yet. Maybe that's the part that you're having to defend, is everybody looking around the outside to tell you that this is crazy. It's never going to go anywhere. Who's going to actually want to come to a barbershop for somebody who's never cut hair? Like that was like, how are you supposed to run a business that you don't know anything about? Well, you learn. If you believe in yourself enough and you are passionate enough about it, you will learn what you need to learn. Or the, putting myself on tarot, on YouTube to do tarot, when really most of my background had nothing to do with this, that led to some confusion. Like, well, who's going to trust you? Well, I trust me. I trust me enough to take the steps. I trust me to do the learning, to get the education, to build the foundation, to do all of the work, the foundational setup work to make this be successful. I'm trusting me. And that's what, you're going to have to do too when the people start coming at you in like, well, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you take that path? Let's go ahead and get some clarifying questions. We're going to use the Light Seers Tarot for the clarifying questions. Okay. And I mean, from what I can tell, it looks like you've built something that you're quite happy about. And you don't have to apologize about that to anybody. All right. So what do you have to look forward to right now in this situation? What do you have to look forward to? All right, so we've got the Eight of Wands. That is some fast-moving energy. The Queen of Swords, that's very clear about what you want and communicating it. And then the Ten of Cups, that is your complete emotional fulfillment and abundance. So that's a really great thing that you have to look forward to, is that this path is headed to a very positive place. Okay. What do you need to be mindful of? All right, so we have the Tower. This is a clearing. So again, if we're working about moving to our North Node mission, that is a completely new energy for your life, there's probably a lot of stuff that needs to be cleared out first to give you room to make those moves. So for me, I was a stay-at-home mom. I had to put myself out into the workplace. I actually went through a divorce, and that forced me to put myself out into the workplace. And then once I started trying to get into the workplace, because I had been a stay-at-home mom for so long, I was running into problems about not even being able to get an interview because I had such a gap on my resume. And so I pretty much ended up just creating my own job because I had such a hard time even getting anybody to give me the interview. So there may be some clearing that's going to be happening, but it's just to make space for the things. It's letting go of the things that no longer serve you to bring in the things that are meant for you now, that are going to lead to this expansion. We've got the intuition. This is the high priestess. It is your increased intuition. So you're going to be getting the downloads about what it is that you're going to need to be doing, what direction. It's building strength. It's going to take strength to take this path because you are running up against a lot of opposition. Nobody wants to see you change, because if you're showing up different in their lives, then they have to readjust their expectations of you. Okay, and then the Five of Cups is it's the letting go. It's the grieving the life that you had, because there are things that, you know, were meaningful to you. You know, there's still a lot. I loved getting to be home with my kids. That was really actually my dream job, was to get to be a stay-at-home mom, and I was a homeschool mom, and I had to give a lot of that up in order to move forward. Like, I couldn't have done that and started a business. I couldn't have done all of that. So there is grief that comes with it, and that's natural. All right, what does this situation look like in 6 months? Okay. All right. So we do have a cycle ending. This is the world, so this is a completion and cycle ending. But the devil came out too. So there may be some temptation, or this could be, actually, this could be you're finally breaking free from the temptations, from the toxic behaviors, from the toxicity that's been in your life, because we also have the strength card telling me that you have the strength to overcome and to really close out this cycle from all of the negative and toxic behaviors that have been there to this point. All right. So what is your best move forward at this time? Best move forward for your highest good. Okay, so we kind of had two piles come out. We had the Lovers and the Stars. So putting your wish out there for the type of actual relationship that you're wanting. This is the high level soulmate, which I feel like that you are kind of already in that. Your wish has already been granted for here, is what that feels like to me. And then the other part was closing out the cycle, becoming a master at some new skill. I mean, this is putting in the work to, you know, really get good. So, you know, if you're looking towards that North Node, really studying and learning everything you can so that you can be successful. And then the Queen of Wands is moving with the energy of joy. And it's like, it's more than just doing it. It's like you're inspired because you're doing it. It's like you're moving with that. It's the energy of the inspiration is there. It's not just doing the work. You are excited about the work. You want to do the work. I mean, you're ready to show up every day. Okay. And what can you do right now to stay positive? What can you do right now to stay positive? Okay. Ooh. Okay. So we've got the Queen of Swords and the Devil came out together. So to me, this means getting very, very clear and communicating your boundaries. But then we had the Three of Swords came out. I'm going to read that one and see what insight I can get from that as to why that's there. Because, I mean, that feels like a painful letting go of things. But painful separation, loss, heartbreak, an opportunity to heal, shadows coming to light, finding inspiration again. Heartbroken, she falls to her knees and screams to the universe for a second chance. Separation can come in many forms, from the loss of a relationship or identity to the disintegration of belief, purpose, or goals. Separation from what we thought we had can mark a painful moment in our life. And so since the Five of Cups also came out, which is about grief, I feel like that, I mean, it is, whatever you're cutting off is very painful for you to do that. You know, whatever it is, the choice that you're moving away from, it's really, really painful for you to have to do that. You don't want to. You're very concerned about how is that going to end up. So let's just ask that question. What happens on the other side of this broken heart? Okay. So it's building strength, because once you know that you have the ability to face whatever fear it is and to, you know, really, really overcome any of your toxic patterns, and some of the most toxic patterns, they don't even seem that, like one of mine is people pleasing. That is really hard for me. And so like I look at these cards and I just feel my people pleasing part of me coming out just looking at these cards, because oh no, I don't want anyone to go through this. I don't want that to happen. Even though that is a normal part of life, even though those moments have the ability to propel us to, you know, the next place. And really, I know that some of my hardest moments, you know, the lowest lows, led to my biggest, you know, inspiration, healing, the next step. And so that's what we're looking at. Strength. I had tons of strength to come out of, you know, when I left my marriage, the idea of me doing that. And then I saw like what, because when I left that marriage, I had no job. I hadn't worked in years. I hadn't worked in 14 years at that point. You know, I had our money, but I mean, like it was, I didn't even know what our finances were. I had 4 kids. I had, you know, like all of this stuff that I was trying to figure out. How am I going? It was scary. It was scary. But yet in that, I was strong enough to not, like, even when I was facing, you know, rejection of, you know, I couldn't even get the interview, I found a way. Like, okay, you're not going to give me a job. I will create my own job. Even when people are going to look at me like I'm crazy, I'm going to do what I need to do. I will survive this. I will overcome this. And that's the strength that was built through a lot of heartbreak. I mean, just the most painful heartbreak that I've been through. And healing. That brought in healing. But it was also fate. So especially if we're talking about the North Node and taking on our actual life purpose, that is fate. If you are being called and activated right now, that is fate moving in. And anything that gets cleared out by a tower, that is also fate. Because it's the stuff that, you know, you won't let go of. So God has to come in and, all right, then I will take control of that. Because I need you over here. And so looking at this, how can you stay positive, is just knowing that this is bringing forth strength, healing, and that it was meant to happen. So there wasn't really anything you could have done different. All right. So I think I'm going to stop there. And I'm not going to do an extended. I do offer personal readings if that's something that you're interested in. So you can find that link down in the description box. I do 30-minute or 60-minute videos. They are much like this. You do not have to be present for these videos. You just have to let me know. You just order it down below with that link, and then I will do it and then email it to you. If you have found value in this video, I would appreciate if you would subscribe to this channel. You can hit the bell for notifications. It will let you know every time I post a new video. Also, if you will comment, like, and share, that helps the algorithm know to keep pushing this out. It helps to build my channel, and I would really, really appreciate it. It's a very tiny thing that you can do to show, big effort and support to me. I would really appreciate that. So if you have any questions, if you want to talk about the North Node stuff, I would love to expand more on all of that, because that's just another passion of mine. So if that's something interesting to you, put that down in the comments too, and we'll find a way to start, bringing videos for that too. All right. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.